These 5 tips will get you into the top 5% in remote solar sales. Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ivan, and I'm going to show you some tips that are going to make you into a high 6-figure or 7-figure earner in 2024. I guarantee if you do these 5 tips, you're going to make a lot of money. I mean, as much money as you possibly want to make in this industry. I do want to make it clear, I am talking about remote solar sales. So if you are looking to get into remote solar sales, or you're already in remote solar sales, then listen up, because these 5 tips are going to make you a lot of freaking money. So let's begin. First thing you want to do is whenever you get a lead and whenever you call the lead, whether it's at the time of the appointment or whether you're calling it for the first time to set the appointment, do not call a lead just once or twice. Make sure you at least triple tap. What I would usually do is I would usually triple tap a lead. So call him 3 times, and in 5 minutes I'll call him another 3 times, and then in 15 minutes I'll call him another 3 times. I want them to feel like they're missing out on something huge, and that's exactly what is happening. Another thing I would say is I've seen time and time again people just call once and just call it a day. They don't really follow up with me, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like, they don't care about me. That's the first thing that comes to mind. I'm like, they don't care about me. If they're not calling enough, then that means they really couldn't give a rat's ass if I get on the phone with them or I don't. So you want to change that. If you want to be in the top 5%, then you want to make sure that people know that you care. And the first way to show them that you care is that you actually make the effort to get them on the phone. And that's the first thing you got to do. The second thing you want to do is you want to schedule them in for the same day. So if you're closing in on the appointment, what you want to do is set the time for the same day. Hey, how does today in about an hour or 2 from now work for you? You got to leave everything aside and try and schedule them in for the same day. It's urgent. You got to create the urgency, because now you got them excited. You want to schedule them in while the excitement's still up and they haven't forgotten about what you told them. So you want to do the appointment as close as possible to the initial call that you got them on the phone. That is extremely important. Now, I understand sometimes people can't make it on the same day, so offer them an option for tomorrow. But no 2 or 3 days out. To me, an appointment that's 3 days out I don't consider it an appointment. I just don't, because people's entire life could change in 3 days. That's a lot of freaking time. Now, if they want to push the appointment 3 days out, that most likely means that they're not interested. And of course, sometimes people can have an urgent matter they need to take care of, and they physically cannot talk to you for the next 2 to 3 days, in which case you don't really have a choice. But for all other opportunities, for all the leads and people that you get on the phone, make sure that you create the urgency by pushing the appointment as close as possible to the initial time you spoke to them on the phone. The next thing, number 3, is you want to make sure that the process is extremely congruent. That's why if you have an advertising campaign, you're running ads, or you're paying someone to run the ads for you, or you have an outbound SMS campaign, or whatever it might be, you need to know, as the salesperson, you need to know exactly what it says so that you know what they saw to begin with, so that you remain congruent with the process. Because a lot of times when you tell, hey, you filled out a form, they're like, I didn't fill out a form. But then if you bring up the name of the campaign, hey, you filled out a form regarding a free generator, or you filled out a form regarding a free roof, or you filled out a form about, the power payback program, or whatever. At that point, they might be like, well, oh yeah, I remember filling out a form regarding X. And so you want to be congruent with the process and what they saw the very first time they interacted with your ad or your advertising message. The next thing you want to do, which is number 4, is have a follow-up cadence. And that you could do with automation using a software. If you have a CRM, most CRMs nowadays would have an automation built in. You just need to build it out. Text followed by an email, followed by a text, followed by a text. And that automation, that follow-up cadence, will keep you top of mind for that homeowner. So if they ever think about going solar, you're the first one that comes to mind. It's extremely important. I see it time and time again. People collect someone's details and they won't even bother follow up with them. And first of all, that's extremely unprofessional. And it leads to poor results, obviously. So every single lead, so no matter what you do, your follow-up cadence shouldn't be less than 30 days. That would ensure you maximize every single lead that comes through your pipeline. And last but not least, tip number 5 is do not ever, and that sounds very redundant, but do not ever give up on a lead. If a lead comes through your pipeline and they're already giving you their information, unless they tell you to F off or they respond in any way, shape, or form, or they block you, you do not give up on a lead. Ever. You do not waste any opportunities. The best salespeople in the world understand this concept, that a lead is a lead. Doesn't matter if it's a 2-year-old lead or a fresh lead from today. It doesn't matter. People's life can change very, very quickly. And so they might go from not caring about solar at all to, in a month from now, be raving about solar and wanting to go solar. And because you didn't follow up with that lead, because you didn't keep top of mind with that individual, then you're not going to be the person who seals the deal. And the thing is that you did all the heavy lifting to begin with, and now you gave up on the lead, and so somebody else will steal that deal from underneath you. You don't want that to be you. So those are my 5 tips to get into the top 5% in remote solar sales in 2024. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again in the next one.